As I said previously, structs are really nice because they synthesize an initializer for us. And that's how we were able to create these instances of our new types, right? Our favorite song and our myself of our person type. But what if we want to create a custom initializer and maybe provide a default value for one of our properties? To do that, we're going to need to provide our own initializer implementation. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a new struct here for a vehicle. Okay, so we're going to do struct vehicle, and we'll say that a vehicle has a number of wheels, here of type int, var number of doors of type int, and var color of type string. Okay, in order to create my own initializer, I am going to start with the keyword init. Okay, you can see that it says Swift initializer declaration. Okay, so we'll do init here, and then I need to pass in the arguments. Okay, so with the memberwise initializer that we got with the struct, it created arguments for each one of my properties. Okay, so I may want to do the same here. So we'll go ahead and we'll say, well, we've got number of wheels of type int, we have number of doors of type int, and then we have a color of type string, but so as not to create the same initializer that's already synthesized for me, let's give our color a default value of black. Okay, so now in the body of this initializer, I need to set all of my properties equal to the arguments that are passed in, right? So we'll say self.number of wheels is equal to the number of wheels that we're given when the instance is created, right? So self.number of wheels equals this number of wheels. Self.number of doors is equal to number of doors, and self.color is equal to my color. So again, the syntax here is very similar to a function, but it begins with the word init instead of func. So now that we have a custom initializer for our vehicle, let's take a look at what happens when we try to create an instance of our vehicle. Okay, so we'll say let my car equal, my car is of type vehicle, right? So we'll do vehicle and then call the initializer, and you can see that now we have two different initializers. So we have this first initializer, which is our custom initializer, that only requires me to pass in the number of wheels and number of doors. Okay, so if I do that, we say 4 wheels, 2 doors. Well, if I want to print out my car dot color, we can see that the color is black, right? I didn't have to say that when I created this instance, because I have my custom initializer that gives my vehicle a default color of black. Okay, so both of those initializer methods are now available. So let your car equal vehicle, and we could use the other initializer method that maybe we want to use this because the color of your car is different. Okay, so we could say that your car has 4 wheels, has 4 doors, and the color is white. Okay, so if we print out your car dot color, run the code. Oh, should probably put this in a print statement. If we want it to print your car dot color, then it will print out that your car's color is white. Okay, so let's go ahead and write another initializer for our song struct, and we'll give the album a default value of nil. Okay, so going back up to our song struct, we're going to write our own initializer. So again, this begins with init. Okay, and then we want to create arguments for each one of my properties. Okay, so we'll say title, string, genre of type string, album of type string, optional, right? And we want to give this a default value of nil, and then duration of type int. Okay, and then in the body of our initializer, we're going to set our self.title equal to the title, self.genre equal to genre, self.album equal to album, and self.duration equal to duration. So now when I create a favorite song, in this case, I passed in the album was nil, but if we go back and we try to instantiate this again, you can see that I can either instantiate it with all of the arguments, okay, with title, genre, album, and duration, or I can exclude the album because the album is nil and instantiate it with just the title, genre, and duration. Okay, so we'll say gold, pop, and 180 seconds. Perfect. So now, if I try to print out the myfavoritesong.album, it has that default value of nil.